Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today we're going to be heading out for the Austrian Grand Prix around the Red Bull Ring. As you can see, both of our upgrades have succeeded, which is very good. Obviously, I didn't get to show this last episode. I have a new contract. I tried to renegotiate, but they failed all 3 times, and I'm now stuck with a really difficult contract to meet the expectations. So, it's like consistent points they want basically. Every race they want points, so hopefully we can step our game a little bit. But anyway, let's head out to qualifying.
Thank you for joining us once again for today's qualifying session. Sit back, relax and enjoy what we hope will be a fantastic contest for pole position. And I'm here, of course, with Anthony Davidson on what has turned out to be a very pleasant day indeed. No weather to interfere, no problems on the track, so absolutely no room for error.
That's right, Crofty. It's looking good out there at the moment. Each team will have their own game plan for this session, and of course, once the cars leave the garage, they'll be under parc fermé conditions, so any last-minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver. Who can keep their tyres in the right temperature, who can hit their apexes. No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long time, and it's right here in qualifying where they're at their absolute peak. Let's get started.
Okay, so qualifying, as you can see, there's smoke coming out of the back of the car. That's because I didn't change my turbocharger from last episode, so that was quite the issue. It did feel like it slowed me down a little bit, but I managed to push through. In the first lap I went 13, but then in the second lap I actually managed to grab some pace at the end there, and I managed to go P9, and by the end of the session that's P11, so that's us into Q2. But in Q2 I didn't really do anything because I changed my turbocharger, which used up all of our time, so I didn't actually get a single lap in. Went in with absolutely no laps, but Gasly was just ahead of me, and yeah, Russell made it into Q2 as well, which is amazing. But yeah, let's get right to the race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Why don't we start by talking about Carlos Sainz? They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when, right off the bat, you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Alexander Albon and Magnussen, Raikkonen, Weber, Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. They've taken a grid penalty. Stroll, Russell, Pierre Gasly, Byrne, Kubica, Perez, Romain Grosjean and Lando Norris. Butler and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
See to it that we improve throughout the race.
Well, I'd say this is pretty decent qualifying for us, Jeff, but since my city contract wants me like P9 in qualifying, can't really do that. But yeah, not much to say before the race. Hopefully it's better than last time, but yeah. Now here we go. 5 red lights. And we're off. For the Austrian Grand Prix, we don't get the best starts. Kubica comes up the side of us, but we make a big dive up at the inside of Hamilton. We couldn't quite make it work. We managed to just pull on to this P13. Obviously we're a bit higher up the grid than we would have been because so many people had grid penalties. As we leap up the inside of Stroll and Hamilton, you can see Russell's there at B10, but I doubt he'll be there for long, especially with me and Hamilton behind him. But Hamilton's sticking in, especially at the top end speed. That Mercedes engine really does pull through for him, but I managed to just hold him out and yeah, grab this P11. As now, as we come down to the penultimate corner, Hamilton throws it up our inside. I did run it a bit wide as well, so I don't really think I would have been able to defend it anyway. And Hamilton's just flown past us. I couldn't really defend my position much, as Gasly is looking for a bit of a move, and I did cut him off a lot there, but I just sort of let him through. But Perez muscled his way through, and so did Stroll, because I did sort of whack him a bit and I felt bad for that, but I just made a big dive up the inside of all 3 of them to get back up into P12. And that's just like an insane dive, but we made it work nevertheless. And now lap 2, Vettel goes fastest, no surprise as he is leading the race. And here we are, sat behind George Russell. DRS will be enabled. He's having a go at Magnussen, and we're going around the outside of Magnussen, getting them both done there. DRS open, and I did squeeze Magnussen a bit too much there, so I did let off. Yeah, here we come up into turn 3, into the braking zone. Magnussen actually got quite far up my inside, but I just held it around the outside, and yeah, held on to P10. Now there's actually a yellow flag up ahead. It's Alfa Romeo, and it's Raikkonen. He's had such an unlucky season so far. Every chance he's had points, he's DNF. He has no points this season so far, which is so unlucky for him. Faber's just been carrying Alpha so bad, but now we're right on the back of Ricciardo. I just couldn't quite get the exits to get him there, but we do have DRS as we come through the kink of turn 2, and then up around the outside so late on the brakes there, but we just absolutely fly around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo, and we're up into P8 now. Now lap 9. Here comes Perez up our inside, and we actually get caught on him. Oh, we've lost our front wing there. Not the entire front wing, taking a lot of damage. We're sort of stuck, but it doesn't take us long as we come down into turn 4, and I dive up the inside of Sergio Perez. And I'm actually surprisingly make it work quite well, even with the damaged front wing, but he sticks there, and he actually tries to run the outside there, but that makes me worry. I run it deep, trying to go late, holding him off, and then he cuts back on our inside, and then I send it deep there, blocking up. So I tried to go later on the brakes, and then, yeah, that's just messed up. And I decided to come in this lap just because the front wing really didn't feel too good, and I let Gasly, Ricciardo through, and I just turned in to come into the pits. And now this was a really risky move. It's a bit of an undercut. As mine was, my expected was lap 10, but come in lap 9, lap early. So it's going to be a long pit stop, so we're really going to have to push this next lap to make sure we can still have some points. It's an 8-second pit stop, which is really not what we need, but we need this new front wing. And yeah, now we just need to go 9 more laps on these tyres, and it'll be over. As now we come down at the end of the lap 10, coming into lap 11, we jump Magnussen. I'm not sure which Williams that was, we come out as Sainz comes out ahead of us, and at first I was like, I'm P17, oh no, I started panicking, but I realised, oh yeah, it's probably because most people haven't pitted yet, which, as a matter of fact, is now at the end of lap 11. You can see there in the bottom left on the mini-map that everyone is in pits there, so we jump a ton of people, but it's only P12, so we're still going to have to push if we want points. But that is my teammate up ahead, Gasly, in P9, so he might actually finally get points finished since Bahrain. I think Bahrain was his last points finish, which is his only one so far this season. But I can't say too much, I've only had 2 as we go side by side with Sainz. And bit late on the brakes. And managed to hold it around the outside and take this P11. And now it's the hunt for Daniel Ricciardo to get that 1 point from P10. But I do run it a bit wide there, and now Sainz just gets an amazing run, and he's up around our outside, and there's really nothing we can do there as he's just floating past us. But I think final exit there, I got Bell on that yellow sausage curb, but DRS open, right behind Sainz, gaining on the Spaniard to go late in the brakes, side by side through turn 1, but I just managed to hold it around the outside so nicely and get back into P11, hunting down Ricciardo once again. And I'm really gaining him on here through turn 2, on the brakes into turn 3, and I'm right behind Ricciardo now. It's such a great run through that straight. And now DRS open, and I'm flying past Ricciardo. We gained on him so quick. Oh my god. And we fly, just close the door right in his face. And there we are, up into P10. There is still quite a few laps left, so we might even be able to catch up to Gasly, which we do on lap 14. We're right behind our teammate now, as he practically pulls over to give us the position, as we just fly by him, with DRS open, but he tries it back around the other side. He tries to do what we do, but I've got such a great exit there. I'm trying to leave him as much room as possible. I don't want to cause any team tension going on between me and Gasly, but he flies back up us with his DRS. We hold it on the inside and just trying to hold on to P9. But this will be, well, as long as Gasly doesn't get overtaken, first double points finish for us this season. But here comes Gasly up our inside, and just see that that's so clean. There's nothing I could really do, but I will have DRS coming down the straight. DRS open. Here we go. And we're gaining on our teammate. I go on to the inside line, and just I got really quite aggressive there, and I did almost whack him in the front ring, but I pulled off to make sure I didn't make any contact on him off the road. He's now on the final lap. No more conflict with Gasly. Sebastian Vettel has won the Grand Prix, making up for last Grand Prix where he DNF'd, which is not good for him, but he surely made some points on Hamilton now. It's across the line for our first ever double points finish in a P9. Well done.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Alright, I'm pretty happy with that race. We got points. We could have came 8th if we didn't have to do that dump pit stop, but nevertheless, we're still in P11, only 1 point behind Lance Stroll though, and only 2 points behind Magnussen. So if we get a couple of points in the next race, we might be up to P9, but we've also moved up in the constructors to P8. And if you're wondering about what I think is going to happen in the season, I think Vettel Leclerc could win the drivers, but maybe Hamilton will pull through. It's not too sure at the moment, but constructors I definitely think Ferrari will win, just because Ferrari is really pulling this weight on that side of things. But now we have an interview.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
Ruin my front wing and then win. I don't know.
Close battle today, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually did. We're both pushing each other to be our best, I guess.
Appreciate your time.
Okay. There's now moved to the end. It's all over now. As you can see there, Ferrari is just a smidge ahead of Mercedes development wise, but that's all very close to the front. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Yeah, it's good to have your company, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, like, subscribe, and yeah, see you guys in the next one, hopefully. Peace.